This is Igbo Area TV.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also click the bell icon.
Okay, Igbo Kwen. Well, this is for young Biafrans. Young Biafrans, you need to have this information. Store it whenever appropriate use. Today is education. You hear in Nigeria, education is the key. Education is the key. So why is Nigerian education not effective? Why is Nigeria still a poor country? Now let us take a look at America and see the second part of the education. Education is divided into two. The first half and the second half. It is the second half that I'm discussing today, which applies to America. During World War II, millions of Americans went to war in Europe. Those American soldiers you saw in Europe, with the exception of their commanders, the highest education they have is elementary 6. So they are as backward as we are in Nigeria. So you can call them Amajiris if you want to. Okay? So as the war was winding down, America knew that these millions of Amajiris will come back home. So they set up a commission to see what they will do with them. The white man, with his magic, after analyzing, they said, well, we need to give these guys education. Now, if we want to avert trouble, because if we don't give them education, they come home and make trouble. So a commission was set up to provide basic education, which is equivalent of high school. It's called GED, General Education Diploma. General Education Diploma, the book is, if you see a big dictionary, that's this big dictionary, not the pocket ones, the thick cover dictionary. That is how the book is. All the subject is there. Okay? The examination for this General Education Diploma lasts for like 4 or 5 hours. It's over. Okay, so now if I come to Nigeria to equate this level of a GED, I will equate it with the level of SS1, advanced SS1. That's what I will equate it to. So you see the entry level to university is advanced SS1. Okay, so you shade SS2 and SS3. What is the difference in here? What is the difference between Nigerian education? Well, Nigerian education is called elitist education. It is education as an artist, artistical education, just like Bokiti, that is dancing. It is not education designed to solve problems. It's education that is designed for education's sake. Elitism. Oh, I went to University of Nigeria. You couldn't go. Elitism, that's what it's called. Elitism is not designed to solve anything. It is designed for self-aggrandizement. That's just what happens in Nigeria, because if you look at Nigerian education, you will have SS3. You pass WAEC, SS3. You take JAMB, which is what they copied from European feudal education system. That JAMB you took, it doesn't have a pass mark. It is measured in percentile, meaning that if we are 20 taking the exam, the best 2 or 3 will be taken. So that best 2 or 3 might be 99.999%. So if I make 99.2%, I fail. Then after that, you go to the campus, the corrupt officials of the university put another roadblock and say you do screen exam. So out of 1,000 candidates, they collect bribe from 500 from outside and weed out 500 and replace them with that one they collect from outside. So that's what you see. So assuming everything is done right, you took the best of the best, quote unquote. Okay? That's called elitism. But is those best of the best actually best? The answer is no, they are not, because there are other factors that affect ingenuity. There's other factors: spirituality, determination, patience, and access to wild knowledge. Access to wild knowledge. With time, you start to perform. That's what America recognized and made their entry level to university across the board. Meaning that if Nigeria was America, all those people you see you call out or a motor park will be sitting down with you in the classroom studying. So imagine if I can teach chemistry to everybody in your village. Some people will tell me it's not possible. It is possible, because if you go to your village, everybody in your village speaks that village language. Just like you go to university and say, I'm studying French. Okay? And now you take exam, screen exam to study French. But in your village, that language you speak in your village is like French. Everybody knows how to speak it. So if I gradually introduce chemistry quietly across the board, within 2, 3, 4, 5 years, everybody in your village will know chemistry. If everybody in your village knows chemistry, the probability of getting genius out of that increases. The probability of getting results from that chemistry knowledge increases, because it's not only available to few people. That is American educational philosophy. They made the higher education to be assessed by everybody. They measured the minimum level of comprehension and the maximum level of comprehension and draw the line on 50%. So that unless if you are what they call a stupor, that's how you cannot go to university or college in America. It is that exposure to knowledge to millions of American GI that had elementary 6 education that created American technical and scientific prowess. All those GIs, all of them opened company after they came back and went to college. They call university college here. When I say college, I mean university. The one we call college in Nigeria, they call it high school. Okay? Those GIs open all these companies that you poor Africans are begging to come and invest in your place now, because the education was across the board. This is very important for young Biafrans. As soon as you get your nation, do not ration education like the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. You must make that education available to everybody. Let the best come out. Don't hold nobody down. Open the education to everybody. Let the best come out. That's what America did. And they find out that those ones that were poor, those ones that were not capable when they were in secondary school, come out to be the genius in professional life. Very surprising. Okay? That's what Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in physics, was called lazy dog in high school. He doesn't do his homework, doesn't even answer when teacher asks questions. He's hiding in the back of somebody else. But at later age, the brain starts charging, because he discovered spirituality and science. Okay, spirituality here doesn't mean Christianity. I want to make that one clear. Spirituality and science, he discovered it. So this education is very important, education across the board. That's why America have 25,000 universities. That's what they have, 25,000 universities. If I bring that to Nigeria, Lagos supposed to have at least 20 or 40 or 50 universities. Well, how many universities does Lagos have now? Couple of universities, because they are rationing education. And if you come to Lagos, you see young men and young women in the street stark illiterate. Stark illiterate is a liability to an economy, because the source of wealth, which is brain, is dormant. When everybody is educated, it becomes an asset. I've argued that Nigerian, unless I'm talking about Nigeria, if Nigeria is in good hands, Nigeria could hold a population of 4 billion people. Complete. If we use brain, because the answer to every problem is in the brain. But that brain has to work. That is the mistake countries like China and India is making. If you go to China, most of their population is working with hands. You will see young girls and young boys toiling in factory with hands. Okay, you go to India, men and women are sleeping in the trash can on the streets. So in India, 80% of the population does not use brain. They are on the streets begging, like the Amajiri is doing in northern Nigeria. In China, 80% of the population does not use brain. They are working with their hands. You cannot challenge America with hands. America use brain. What will happen if China deploy 1.4, 1.6 billion people to use brain? America will run for cover. But Chinese leadership will not do that because one person will rule forever in China. That is the problem they have in politics over there. Now in India, the backwardness there will prevent them from educating everybody so that they use brain. So if Biafrans educate everybody and employ the brain, Biafra, as small as it is, can outproduce the whole of Africa and Europe joined together, because nobody has done that. Okay, the reason why nobody has done that is that in Europe, the effect of feudalism of the old is affecting them. That's why you see this entrance, you see this examination. All those things you see is nothing but a way to block you so that my own son will be better than you. That's what we call feudalism. But a country emerging out today will remove all that. I suggested that to the president of Liberia, the lady that was running Liberia. I said, hey, since they have destroyed Liberia and you are now the president, you have an opportunity to start anew. Remove all barriers. Let the nature select the best. Do not help nobody. Let nature select it. She didn't do it. Liberia is full of illiterates running around. So young Biafrans, as soon as you get the Biafra, make sure that everybody has education. Everybody. Education is open to everybody. Let nature filter the best. Don't appoint the best. Let nature filter it out. Okay? This thing I'm saying, America have done it only 55%, and you see the result. Only 55%. If America stop their racism and bring in minorities that is in this country and give them education, and they get out some poor whites and give them education, every world will back down because America will bury all of them. All this America you are hearing today is 55% effort in terms of education. Education of the people. There are still a large number of Americans that are stark illiterates. You can call them Amajiri, okay, due to poverty, due to discrimination, and all that. No country has done what I'm telling you about. If Biafra can do it where he has access to education for everybody, don't worry, let nature decide. You will bury the whole of Africa unless they copy you. And then if they copy you, it becomes a match. Okay, that's the secret of education. The other countries are doing elitist education. Elitist education doesn't solve any problem. What he promotes is self-aggrandizement and egoism. That's all. The education that solves problem is education that you give across the board to everybody. Okay? If you give everybody education, then they will act on that education. If I can go to Ochanja now and put loudspeaker there and start educating them, giving them lectures in loudspeaker, teaching them business management, marketing, advertisement, and accounting, you will see better on the market. Teaching them science, you will see scientific and technical breakthrough coming out from on the market, because I'm giving the education across the board. I'm not selecting a few people. I'm not collecting 20 and 30 naira, putting the sons and daughters of lazy sons and daughters of rich people in the university. Okay, I'm giving the education across the board. So that education that is given across the board, you will see genius coming out from unknown waters. That's the second part of education. Okay, the first part of education is very critical, that I will present next time It's called Omeji. Omeji. The first part of education is called Omeji. I will present it. It is lack of that first part of education that rendered Nigerian education ineffective.
Thanks for watching Igbo Area TV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also click the bell icon. Like our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Bye for now.